G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland, and this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for the Northern Territory for the weeks and months ahead, issued in the few days leading up to the 21st of December 2025. So we'll take a look at these rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with the outlook scenarios here. And these are the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. So looking ahead to the 3 months from January to March, we're seeing a 75% chance of up to 100 millimetres or more for southern parts of the territory, increasing as we head north up to 800 mils or more around the Darwin region. And you can use this magnifying glass feature here to drill deeper into the forecast, specifying your location of interest to break the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring. Now, this gives you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median, and your local climate mate will be happy to go through this with you in more detail. Now, taking a quick look at the Bureau's northern rainfall totals since the 1st of September, and the large areas in green here indicate where more than 50 millimetres of rain has fallen. And this is about the amount of rainfall required to stimulate plant growth. And as you can see, that most of the territory has now exceeded 50 millimetres of rain for the season. Now look at the temperatures, and the differences from average for maximum temperature show mostly cooler conditions, particularly around the Katherine, Big Rivers and Northern Barkly regions for the 2 weeks from Christmas Day to the 7th of January. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. And for minimum temperature, we're expecting warmer than average conditions across the territory over the next 2 weeks. Now looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from January to March, we are seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days, mostly around the top end, East Arnhem and Central Australian regions, and an elevated chance of unusually warm nights across the territory. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year, based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now remember that these long-range forecasts for rainfall and temperature provide the best guidance for local climate, so that is our focus as always. And these forecasts consider all ocean and atmosphere conditions that affect seasonal weather and climate. But if, like me, you're interested in some of the climate indicators that can influence the forecasts, we'll have a quick look at these now. And La Nina is underway in the tropical Pacific. The Bureau's model currently predicts La Nina will remain until early 2026 before returning to neutral, and this timing aligns with most international models assessed. The negative Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, has been weakening since late October, and it's near its end, and the Bureau's model predicts a return to neutral IOD during December, which is consistent with most international models. Now, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or the MJO, has been weak in recent days, but it's forecast to strengthen over the maritime continent region, including Northern Australia, in the last week of December. And this is coinciding with forecasts of above median rainfall across the north and may indicate the arrival of monsoon conditions before the end of the year, something to keep a close eye on in the coming days. The Southern Angular Mode, or the SAM, has been strong in its negative phase recently following a stratospheric warming event over Antarctica in the spring, and the SAM has returned to neutral in the last week. It's forecast to remain neutral through to at least mid-January. And the sea surface temperature outlook is also likely to be influencing the forecast for Australia, and this has shown warmer than average waters around much of Australia, and it's likely to continue in January through March, with warming of around 1 degree or more predicted in the Tasman Sea. Now turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddocks, we're expecting to see pasture growth across Northern Australia, as is shown here, with some large areas of high growth predicted in the coming months. And finally, looking at the Cattle Comfort Index prototype forecast at nacpi.org.au, index values between 30 and 35 degrees represent moderate stress to cattle. Values between 35 and 40 degrees represent severe stress, and values above 40 degrees are considered extreme. And we're expecting varying heat stress conditions over Northern Australia, with some severe and extreme conditions to be aware of in the days ahead. So as always, for more information and updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate, and you can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacpi.org.au. Have a safe and happy holiday season, and I'll see you again in the new year.